Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks for having this hearing. Administrator Prokowski, thank you for being here. Thank you for the job you've done the last 5 years. I mean, the fact that when I came in this room and I looked at you and I said, oh yeah, that's Administrator Prokowski is really a good sign, because that means I haven't had to have you in front of me talking about screw-ups. And so we appreciate that very, very much. And we appreciate the professionalism of the people that work with you. I've got a couple questions. We're going to get to the airplane part of things, but I want to start with pipelines. There's a 2018 report out there that found that there was only 6 people working on pipeline security in 2018. Could you give us an update where we're at today, and if the staffing is adequate, because we've seen pipeline mischief, if the staff is adequate to make sure that this country is well protected, because pipelines are critically important?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the question. And pipeline cybersecurity resilience is a very top priority of ours. And our staff is significantly larger than what it was last time we talked, but it's still not at the levels where it needs to be. But one of the things that we have been very, very successful at, and this is to the great credit of the department and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, is we partner very closely with them on cybersecurity issues and overall critical infrastructure protection issues. Additionally, we work very, very closely with the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Agency in the Department of Transportation, who also has cyber expertise. And so our work to date has been pooling those cyber resources together, but we do need to have additional cyber resources, and you will be seeing that in future budget requests, I'm sure.
Can you tell me how many people are working in pipeline safety today?
Yes, sir. In pipeline security for cyber, I'll limit it to cyber, we've hired about 20 plus additional people. We have more in the pipeline to come on board. And then as we expand our cyber resilience efforts across the surface transportation sector beyond pipelines, it will require even more resources to do that.
And so you've got 20 in cyber. What is the other area in pipeline safety that you work on?
That would be just policy development and then inspection, sir.
Okay, and how many people do you have in that arena?
In the inspection process, we have hundreds, but those inspectors are dual-hatted as aviation security inspectors and pipeline security inspectors. We're about to shift a number of them right over into pipelines as a dedicated resource. So the pool of inspectors is deep, but we do need to build their expertise in cyber issues.
For the adequacy that you have right now, you would say that you need to bump up the cyber end of things? And what about the inspection end of things?
Inspections as well, sir. Yes, sir. Both of them.
Okay. Do you have a top-line number that you want to try to achieve in the next?
We're still developing that top-line number, Senator, because we're looking at the extent of our cybersecurity regulatory efforts over the next year plus, and it will expand beyond what it currently is.
Okay. You have previously testified in the House, I believe, that you support writing into law full collective bargaining rights and pay equity for transportation security officers at TSA, which has been addressed already. This committee has legislation before it that would do exactly that. Mm-hmm. Tell me why you're supportive of these provisions and why you think it will make a difference in recruitment.
Sure. The pay equity is critically important, as I said before, just to make sure we can hire, retain, and be fair. I mean, fairly compensate our employees who have critical national security roles. With full collective bargaining, I support full collective bargaining. TSA has had limited collective bargaining since its inception 20 years ago. I look at the Federal Employee Viewpoint Survey results when they come out. I look at them very specifically to individual airports to see what are the workplace dissatisfiers for our frontline screening workforce. As I look at this, we've been 20 years doing limited collective bargaining. It hasn't gotten us to where we need to be. And so I think that we should try full collective bargaining, but I just need the resources to be able to.
So when it comes to the airplane staffing, the airport staffing, you're about 8% down. How have you dealt with, I mean, you're getting an influx 2 million a day. How have you dealt with the line issue with your staffing being 8% down?
Yes, sir. We've dealt with it successfully to a lot of hard work at the local level. I mean, we have really, really good relationships between our airport leadership and the owners and operators of the airports, and the carriers, who we all work together to try to make sure that a passenger gets on board the plane and can depart as quickly and safely and securely as possible. The other thing that we've employed a great deal are recruiting bonuses. We have a series of incentives. We've increased where the cost of living is very high. Proportional to the rest of the country, we provided additional retention incentives to compensate for high cost of living areas. We also, this summer, have a summer incentive. So we provide more money in addition to overtime for those that are working overtime hours.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.